Some of the best times in my life in New York.
New York is our second home.
Madison Square Garden. It's a legendary place. We'd never seen anything like it when we came here.
We just loved everything about New York. That went on until, you know, the final days of Keith Moon's career with us.
It should be Who York.
Exactly.
And we always had the most spectacular time, you know, just nuts.
Four totally different characters, but they were all individuals, and that's what made them a great band. They never had a bad show, Ronnie, did they? I mean,
Never.
Their bad show was as good as other bands' good shows. I mean, that's how excellent they were.
They've been in so many situations, sad situations, crazy situations. The music has always kept them going, and there's also the fierceness. They've got that animal instinct. When I was a kid, I worked for also the Dublin bands, and I heard this song one day. I was like, what, who is that? And it was The Who. And that was in the 70s, you know, and I was like, Jesus, is that a punk band?
The Who is dangerous, and it's always going to be f***ing dangerous because the two guys in it are f***ing dangerous. When I was 10, I was going through my parents' records and I found a record called Meaty Beaty Big and Bouncy, right? It's the Who album, and I learned to play the drums playing along to Who records. I never take my eyes off Pete. Pete Townshend is an innovator and he changes things every night. And that's all I can tell you.
I love playing here. It's got a good sound. It feels like home.
For me, the one show that sits in my mind was the show after the 9/11 tragedy.
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man.
That night of my life was one of the most emotional nights I've ever had on the stage, ever.
Behind blue eyes.
We did a couple of numbers and we got to Behind Blue Eyes and there was a pause.
And that song's so vulnerable, and it gives you a moment to actually look at the audience.
I hadn't realised that so many of the audience, maybe 80%, were in uniform.
Telling only lies.
If you ever felt the love of New York, we felt it that night.
We are honoured to be here.
I've been a Who fan for 45 years.
I now live in New Zealand, so me and my wife flew in from New Zealand for this show.
He probably taught me to play Pinball Wizard when I was 12 years old.
And that was the first Who song I learned too.
The New York audience, they are fantastic.
What an occasion. The first show of 35 shows at only one, sorry. The first of one show at Madison Square Garden.